The long-awaited Blighted update is finally here. There's a new structure along with several new mobs, cosmetics, furniture, and of course, the boss fight. But before we check out all of the new content, let's take a step back for a second. Over 2 years ago, Origin Realms announced that they're working on custom dungeons for the server, and over time they released screenshots which teased what they would be like. The community was super excited. The update was set to come out summer of 2021, and it was going to be one of the biggest updates on the server. But sadly, the update never came out that summer, and neither did any of the other updates that were planned for that year. And then dungeons kept getting delayed. I'm sure people were beginning to think that they'd never be released, which is, kinda true. Because on January 14th, during a stage event, an admin said this.
It's about time that we say that dungeons are officially, cancelled.
But all hope wasn't lost, because during the same event, they announced something new that would be replacing dungeons, which are the Blighted biomes. And that's what we got in this update, the first of 10 Blighted biomes that were planned to be released on the server. The first one being the Blighted Badlands. So why don't we go ahead and find the biome, so we can check out everything new that's been added. Okay, I'm in a Badlands biome, which means there could be a Blighted version nearby. Guess we'll go around a bit. Do I want to explore this again and like find nothing? I think I'll just keep going. What are the chances of actually TPing into one? That's my question. Maybe people don't usually teleport into it. Maybe they like actually explore the Badlands. These coordinates seem almost familiar. Like I feel like this is the one I was just at. I'm just gonna explore this. I don't think I'm gonna teleport into one. Wait. Did I just finally? Yes! The Blighted Badlands biome. Let's go. That took longer than I thought it would be. Okay. Here we are. There's at least one of these biomes that spawns per open world. There have been a few times where I've seen 3 Blighted biomes in one resource world, so it's not terrible trying to find one on your own, but it's probably best just to teleport to someone. Since, as you might have seen from chat, there's always people asking to be teleported to the Spire. And the Spire is where you can fight the boss, but we'll be getting to that in a second here. But yeah, as you can see, this biome looks pretty cool. Light has just taken over, so it's dark, and a lot more dangerous than the normal Badlands biome. We've got stuff like this plant right here. I don't remember the name of it, but if you get too close, it explodes. So yeah, let's go over all the fun stuff you can find in this biome, starting with the unique blocks. We have blocks like Grimrock here. This is the cobbled version since I don't have Silk Touch. And then we also got Bleak Logs. And you can use those 2 blocks to craft a bunch of other neat building blocks, including this lovely little slider here. And of course there's an assortment of other random blocks found in this biome, like all these dead looking plants over here, which do inflict damage and give you slowness if you touch them, so probably try to avoid these. But yeah, there's a total of 34 new blocks added in this update, and I'm including these even though they're not blocks. But anyways, even though they're all dark and kind of depressing, they look pretty sick. So I'm interested to see what kind of builds people can make with these, because I sadly am not good at building. But I am good at fighting mobs, so let's talk about those. There are 4 new mobs: Grims, Phantoms, Manglers, and Ghouls. Grims fly in circles around you while shooting fire. However, before you kill them, they do attempt to retreat, and after a few seconds, they'll start flying again if you don't kill them. There's also another version of the Grim called the Cursed Grim, which is basically the same except it gives you blindness. Next up, we've got Phantoms. Not much to say about them, they're basically the same as normal Phantoms, except they're bigger. And then we have Manglers. They're quite strong, they lunge at you, and once you deal enough damage, their head pops up, and apparently their head is Grim. I won't question it. And lastly, we have Ghouls. They're basically just skeletons, and they can spawn with either a sword or a bow. One thing all these mobs have in common is that they each drop a new item called Blight Essence, which can be used to turn blocks into their Blighted version. Before we finally go and fight the boss, I want to talk about the new little structure that spawns in this biome. It's nothing too fancy, it's got a couple of chests with some pretty average loot. They've also went ahead and revamped the bandit outposts, so they fit right into the Blighted Badlands. You may have noticed that there's random furniture around the structures as well. Sadly, you aren't able to pick up any of them at the moment, but it has been teased that you'll be able to obtain them some way in the future. So now that I explained all of that, why don't we finally go find a Spire so I can fight the boss. Oh, there's a Spire over here already. Here we are. Oh wait. I already completed this one earlier! Kidding me? Okay, I guess I have to go ask someone in chat to be kind enough to teleport me to a new Spire. But yeah, basically at the top there is a portal which leads you to the boss room, and there's 2 ways to get up there. One, you can go up the Spire and pass a ton of mobs and probably get knocked off a few times, or you can go up one of these and just pearl to the top. I do normally go up one of those, but for the sake of the video, I'm gonna go up the proper way. You actually can't use pearls to teleport into the Spire anymore, but you could always use something else. Alright, let's go. Also, a spear with vaulting is going to be super helpful when you're trying to go up the spire. So you should definitely get one of those if you don't have that already. Also, totems do not work in the boss room because Order Realms has added something called life wisps, which is what this guy is right here. As you can see on the top of the screen, it says I have collected 1 out of 3. Wait, why is there another one here? Yeah, there's something called life wisps, which are basically used in place of totems. So if you die and you have a life, you will be revived. And let's get our 3rd one, I guess. You guys are actually pretty cute too. Also, the amount of lives you can collect depends on how many people are in your party. So if you're solo, you get 3 lives. If you've got a friend in your party, you get 2 lives. If there's 3 of you, you get 1 life. And if you have a party of 4, you get 0 lives. But at that point, the boss should be super easy, so lives aren't really necessary. Yeah, let's continue. There's several like traps and stuff around here. These are pretty cool. Hopefully they'll add like these as an item so you can get them and like build your own obstacle courses in the future. That'll be pretty neat. Also ropes. Is a guy gonna spawn there? Yes, he did. These guys can be really annoying because they'll lasso you and throw you all the way down. Also, if you made it this far into the video, consider leaving a like or subscribing. I'd really appreciate it since I put a lot of work into making these videos. But anyways, back to the video. What in the world are people building over there? And here we are. We're at the portal. Okay, that was kind of rude. There's so many camping the portal. Leave me alone. All right, here we go. I probably should have brought something besides baked potatoes, but it's too late now. I love the custom music. I love the fact that they added that. Here we go. Wish I could have given my actual like initial reaction to this, but I've already fought this guy on like 50 times or something. Yeah, I love the design of the boss. The boss fight is actually really fun. Even though I've done it a bunch of times. Boss room looks great as well. He has a bunch of different attacks, and I think Order Realms did pretty good for their first boss. So I'm excited to see how the other 9 or so bosses will turn out to be when they release the other Blighted biomes in the future. And also, I probably should be watching out for my health. Or my hunger, I should say. Also, you can only beat the boss once per spire. Let's actually finally finish this guy off now. I normally do not take this long. There we go. Phase 1 is done. He's gonna... He revived. I just realized that right now. Did he just take the horse's head off? How did I never realize that before? His like weapon is the horse's head, isn't it? How did I never realize that in like the 50 times I played this? No, these guys are the worst. Yeah, this one lunging attack is the one you should definitely avoid because you'll possibly get one shot depending on what armor and stuff you got. And he spawns in waves of other mobs every now and then, which are quite annoying. Also, I don't know if there's a way to properly avoid the fire. I've tried to use vaulting to avoid it, but it still ends up following you. Spears are definitely super useful in this. Please get rid of that guy. I don't want to see the one with the lasso anymore. Okay, did it go on the horse? Should be easy. If I'm correct, the bow does less damage to him on the second phase compared to the first one, because I believe they said he had projectile protection. And there we go! He is dead. Let's go. Super bad time, almost 5 minutes. We don't talk about that. Yeah, overall I really like the boss fight. It can get a little repetitive, but Order Realms did a good job. Also, when you defeat the boss for the first time, it'll drop a life light, which gives you a permanent extra heart. So once all 10 of the Blighted biomes come out, you'll have 20 hearts, which is kind of cool. I'm assuming as they add more, they'll make it harder or add like difficulties, because I remember hearing some stuff about that. But anyways, let's finally collect our rewards, see what we got. Oh, I got the Relic. I'll talk more about this in a bit. Basically how the loot works is you usually get a few stacks of ruby blocks, and then you get a key, either a cosmetic, legendary, or gesture key. There's obviously furniture, cosmetics, and the Relic, and you get at least one of those every time you beat the boss. Just gonna pause here for a second. If there was one thing I disliked about the boss, it would have to be the way the loot works. I personally don't think you should be able to get more than one good item per fight. Why? Because the market for the boss loot plummeted in a matter of days. Of course prices go down, but the prices now are just bad. Nothing goes for more than 5k besides the throne, and even that's only worth like 10k. There might be better ways to solve this issue, but the first thing that popped into my mind was limiting it to one item per boss, excluding the rubies and key of course. But yeah, that's my take on it. I'm interested to see what you guys think, so let me know in the comments. Let's go ahead and claim these. Also, I will note if you... What in the world? Why did I spawn down here? If you are in a party though, you do have to share the loot and take turns picking out what you want, so keep that in mind. How do I even get out of here? I don't even know where I'm at. I think I'm under this. Oh, I'm under the stairs. Oh, I can get out that way. But yeah, there's 3 new cosmetics and 8 pieces of furniture that are exclusive to the boss, so I'm gonna go ahead and fight it a few times so I can collect all of those items. Alright, here's some of the loot I've gotten. I already have the armor set equipped. This is the new Marauder cosmetic set. It's pretty cool. I just can't see my face properly. You can actually get finishes for these whenever you beat the boss. You have a small chance of getting a finish when you claim the cosmetic, so be on the lookout for that. So yeah, not really my type of cosmetics, but they are pretty cool. And here's all of the new furniture you can get from the boss. My personal favorite is probably the throne. This one looks really cool, especially in this animated and all that. I also really like the stallion though. But yeah, the boss drops a very nice selection of furniture for you to collect. Alright, so I briefly mentioned it earlier, but what is this new relic? Well, it adds a couple of abilities to your armor and weapons. It is completely cosmetic though if you apply it to these tools. Let's go add these to my armor so I can test it out. Do keep in mind though, the Marauder horns are kind of expensive to add to your gear compared to previous relics. But anyways. There we go. I actually love how this looks. Especially the helmet. It's great. Too bad I won't be seeing the helmet much unless I decide not to put a hat cosmetic on, because that makes your helmet disappear so you can see your cosmetic, but oh well. Yeah, I already had a spirit sword and spirit bow that I had made previously. Let's go ahead and test the weapon abilities. The axe and sword are actually the same. Whenever you deal damage to hostile mobs, your weapon will slowly charge up, and once it's fully charged, it'll deal critical damage, and summon a friendly little Grim to temporarily assist you. As for the spirit bow, it actually has homing arrows, as you can see there. What in the world just happened? You can shoot up to 3 arrows at a time with the spirit bow, depending on how long you charge the bow for, so we'll do like this. Choose 1, and if I charge it a little extra, where the second little ball appears, it will shoot 2, and then when I charge it to the max, it will shoot 3. And lastly, we have the spirit armor. Each piece of this armor buffs the strength and resistance of ally mobs near you. I think this feature would be more useful if dogs or cats could teleport between the worlds. Still, it's not too bad. The armor also gives mounts a speed boost. Let's go ahead and test it with our skeleton horse over here. If I can get out. Not gonna lie, I noticed very little difference. Does it even change at all? Does it not work with this guy? No, it is faster. You just, kind of slow to start with. But yeah, as you can see, you do go faster. It'll probably work better with a horse or, a zebra maybe? I don't know, never rode one of those. And lastly, if you wear the full set, you'll get a cute little sentry grim. This guy is permanent and will assist you in killing enemies. Also, do note that you need to beat the boss at least once to use any of the spear gear, otherwise you won't be having a fun time. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot to mention, since I didn't mention it anywhere in the patch notes, platinum bows are a thing now. And that's pretty much all the Blighted stuff, but there is one more important change they made in this update, which has to do with the chat system. Basically, the chat is regional now, so you can only talk to people in the same world as you, but if you do want to say something for the whole server to see, you have to use the new shout command. There is a pretty long cooldown, and the cooldown is even longer, depending on your rank. So, sorry to all the player ranks. The reason for this change is to prepare Origin Realms for when it has a larger player base in the future, because I don't want chat to be flooded when that time does come. However, the community has not been too fond of these changes, myself included, and the admins are aware of people's opinions on it, so expect some changes or adjustments to be made to the chat system in the future. Okay, so after I finished recording this video, they released some new patch notes. Basically, they nerfed the Spirit Bow, Shadow Gear, and then they added /add. So that's a new command you can use to advertise whatever you're buying or selling. Overall, I really enjoyed this update. I don't personally feel like it was worth the 2-year-long wait, but if they are able to release the rest of the Blighted biomes fairly consistently, then I guess I won't mind the wait as much. But yeah, hop on to BlightedOrigins.com today if you want to experience the update for yourself, and don't forget to check out my last video where I mined over 300,000 blocks of sand to get a rare item. What are people doing over here? Okay.